All right, you guys, welcome into Stage One Studios.
We're excited to be
Happy
here.
to have you.
Thank
Happy
you.
to have you all.
Thanks.
It's exciting. So for people who don't yet know you guys, can you give a brief introduction of who you are and what you're doing?
You bet. We're Troy and Lori Olds. We own Ascend Brain Center here in Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, I've heard some awesome things about Ascend. Can you guys give us a quick rundown of some of the techniques that you guys use down there? And it sounds like a very unique and new technology.
Yeah. Hi, Lori Olds. We help people optimize their brains through neurofeedback, frequency healing that we have. And the goal of people that come into Ascend Brain Center is to help them regulate their nervous system through frequencies and currencies that we have.
And so, like, what does that look like? I'm trying to wrap my mind around it.
Why don't you take this now?
Yeah, you bet. So neurofeedback's fantastic. We were really made aware of it. Neurofeedback's not new. It's been around for decades. The technology is advanced significantly. And 4 years ago, we have our sister and brother-in-law got a microcurrent neurofeedback device. And they started sharing these amazing results they were getting with clients. We're talking about taking nonverbal kids to verbal. We're talking like kids on the spectrum.
Wow.
We're talking about people who are going to jump off the Perrine Bridge and being happy. Right. So it's like profound technology. And what really resonated for me was a study that was done on a recovery center in Texas. And a lot of people don't realize that the recidive rate, the relapse rate of an addict or an alcoholic that leaves rehab is 80% will drink or use within 12 months, right? They did neurofeedback. They implemented neurofeedback with the recovery process, and it flipped that number. 75% stayed clean and sober that first year, right? So to your question, what is it doing? So when we put these little electrodes on the brain, literally on the screen, you can see the brain waves, right? Which is really telling, right? They say who you associate with matters, what you're thinking matters. The only reason that you can see those on the screen is because these electrodes are picking up the frequencies coming off of the brain, right?
Yeah.
And so what it's doing is it's sending a frequency to the brain, and it's identifying what's out of harmony, and then it will send a compensating frequency to that area of the brain to regulate it and bring it back into homeostasis. That's it.
And once it reaches homeostasis again, it kind of becomes the new normal?
The new normal, that's the important thing for us to like remember and to share with everyone is AI is a big deal right now, right? And it is. But OI, the original intelligence, is far more profound,
Wow.
right?
I'm loving that.
All this technology that we've invested in, there's nothing more amazing and beautiful than the human body, the human being. And so you regulate the brain, you regulate the entire system because it is the control center, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get the brain right, body's going to be right.
That's incredible. And so in terms of like clientele, it sounds like there's a wide variety of people that can benefit from this, right? It's not just adults, but it's also kids and kids on the spectrum and adults on the spectrum and people with TBIs.
TBIs. On one hand, we work with CEOs and like athletes that really want to optimize to that next level, those biohacker type folks, right? On the other end of the spectrum, we've got folks who have traumatic brain injury, people who are recovering from stroke. And the majority of folks are individuals, regular folks who are really struggling with anxiety. We've got clients that have gone to the hospital, the emergency room twice. I'm having a heart attack. They're not having a heart attack. They're having a panic attack.
Yes.
Right.
The type. Yep.
Depression, a lot of brain fog. We worked with a lot of people post-COVID who had long COVID, maybe had some injury through that process, bringing them back online. We had a client who literally was like, will you please refill my mug? Yeah, mug. It was literally that severe, and within weeks they're brought back.
Wow.
So it's really, Lori gets that lovely experience on a daily basis, seeing the lights literally turn on for folks.
That's incredible. Maybe you can give me a little background on like how you guys discovered this and a little bit about the journey of how you guys got here yourselves. Because I know we talked a little bit before the interview, and there's some very interesting stuff that I really wanted to get to.
So a lot of coaches will coach from out of necessity, and I am that guy. And so in the dot-com boom, I broke my brain, my nervous system, made a lot of money. I thought everything outside of me was going to make me better. When I get the money, when I get, the house, I'll be okay. And I got the money in the house and I was far from okay. And the way that I was able to really push and drive and grind, as they say, I was supplementing with supplements that were not legal. And so when that whole ride of the dot-com boom was over, I was broke. I was really broken, and I walked into a recovery center in 2003 in Gooding, Idaho. It was amazing.
Oh, wow.
And that's where that process began. And I literally came out and I couldn't read and remember, anxiety through the roof. Brain was very much offline. I was a non-functioning adult. And so that really put me on the process of a lot of therapy, a lot of study, a lot of healing modalities. And it took a couple years, literally a couple years, that I was able to look back and go, I had no idea how broken I'd become. So that's where that really began, my passion for being, wellness. And I knew that, hey, obviously addicts of all kinds could use this help. Mm-hmm. But when I started really looking around, I became very aware just through study and observation that the addiction comes from a place, right? A certain place, right? It's the things that happen usually in our youth that are not acceptable, certain emotions or certain experiences that are very traumatic that get stuffed into what they call the shadows, right?
Yes,
the shadow work.
Wow.
So the subconscious just puts it away and says, you know what? We know how to deal with this. We're going to react to this way. We're just going to stuff this energetic emotion that you're not supposed to feel or express, and we're just going to stuff it down there, right? And then we get into adult life, and that stuff starts to come out sideways because it will come out. And so with that said, there's a saying that I really love. It says, joy is the matriarch of emotion, right? Yeah. Joy. She's the mother of emotion, and she will not make herself known if her children are not allowed, right? Accepted.
Absolutely.
And who are the children? Anger, rage, sadness, grief, right?
Yeah.
Don't show emotion. Well, that stuff's going to come out. And so when we start to integrate that stuff, we start to actually live. So that's where it all began for me, is like learning that stuff. And we can go into some of the island and plant medicine stuff if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd love to, honestly, because I can already feel a lot of that in this conversation. You made it clear that you've actually done some plant medicine. Obviously, you have a history, and you've gone through the ringer yourself. Like you've had experiences in life. That's the cures that you're spearheading are coming through your own experiences. Like this whole process for you it seems to be like an extension of your own goals as a human.
Yeah, sure. Well, so to your point, a lot of stuff. A lot of modalities, a lot of work, and being a recovered alcoholic. Recovered is different than sober, right? Sober is just, I'm just still not doing that behavior. I'm not doing that behavior anymore, but all that, the issues remain.
Yeah.
That's miserable.
Yeah.
Recovered is you actually go through the process of steps or whatever that modality is that you're a part of. And so as a recovered guy, I toe the line. Like I do this, I don't do that, right? There's certain things that I just live by. And so I was going through, this is about 6 years ago, a really challenging time in recovery, because life still happens, right? And stuff still processes. And a really good friend of mine, Mark, called me and took me to sushi. He says, listen, I know you're sober. He says, but I think that this would help you. And he shared with me his ayahuasca experience. And I knew all about it, but normally it would be a hard no. But this voice just came down. It was like, you're doing this. I'm like, oh wow. So I went to my sponsor in my 12-step program, and I said, listen, I'm not asking. I'm telling you, I'm called to do this. He goes, well, I don't recommend it, but you're solid. Bring back the notes. And so I went in Salt Lake, downtown Salt Lake City of all places.
Really? Wow.
It was beautiful. It wasn't the jungles of Peru.
Yeah.
And it was the most heart-opening, eye-opening experience. I saw the perfection in every relationship, all of the relationships, the most traumatic experiences. I saw the beauty and the magic in that experience. So what I did is I divested myself of all belongings. It just felt like the same thing to do. And I went and lived with the shaman on the big island of Hawaii.
Wow.
For 6 to 9 months.
My
and
goodness.
Sat in a lot of ceremony. And then at one point it was just like, you're done. It's like, okay, I'm done.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And that's a profound medicine. That's a profound modality. The modality that we're most excited about is obviously what we can chat about now, which is something that is accessible to everyone.
Well, that's kind of where I was going with that long-winded question before. Like if you had found this in 2003, say, this procedure, this technique, would it have kind of served, would it have helped you then?
Tremendously.
Like a bypass for these other methodologies that you've been discovering and working through?
I absolutely believe it would.
You do.
It didn't exist at that time.
Interesting.
Right? Now, if it had, absolutely. And I'm that guy that if I like you or something, or I'm going to sing it from the rooftops, regardless.
Yeah.
Right? So it just happened to, I believe that this type of technology, really great inspirations, spirit will make its way through humanity for the individuals who are willing to raise their hand, right? And so it's going to happen whether it was Lori and I or not. It's already happening. The story about how it found us, because I wasn't looking, man. Like we're focused on Ascend Brain Center, right?
Yeah.
And the marketing of that, anybody who owns a small business knows that it's a lot, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We love it. So I wasn't looking, but Lori, you share your story, honey. It's beautiful.
Well, I had a client that was in chronic pain. I mean, she was coming to me 3 times a week, and I was not able to help her. So in our center, we take a very holistic approach to helping the brain. So I very quickly found that if somebody's brain is offline, if we don't do a full body approach, a lot of neurofeedback practitioners will focus just on the brain. We focus on the entire body because we realize that if we can calm the body, the brain will respond much quicker. Well, we had done everything I had done, used all the tools that I could possibly on this client, and she had gained 60 pounds. She had terrible pain in her feet, wasn't able to walk anymore. And I hadn't seen her for about 3 months, and she's a 3 times a weeker. And I called her up and I said, "Hey, where have you been? What's going on?" And she's like, "I'm not in pain anymore." And I said, "Well, tell me," because I had suffered from chronic back and hip pain for 4 years. And this was one of those chronic, never not there. You kind of try to forget about it, but it's just always in the frontal lobe of the mind. Mm-hmm. And she brought over this little sticker, and I put it on my hip, and within 20 seconds, my pain was completely gone.
What? Really?
And I had the same response you did. What is happening? But when I really understood what was happening, after 3, I changed that sticker out every day. I was afraid to not have it on because finally I got some relief after 4 years. And after about 3 weeks, I thought, I'm going to take this off. I've been pain-free. I want to take this off and see how long before it comes back.
Okay.
It still has not come back. It's been 3 months.
Really?
And as, working with the brain on a daily basis, I had to understand what is happening here. And that's when we dove into the science and understood that we'll tell you how this little sticker works, but there's 0 ingredients. There's nothing going into the body. So when you talk about holistic, there is nothing going in here except for your brain is receiving a code that is fixing the imbalance in the body.
Just like neurofeedback.
Because we are talking about 2 different
modalities completely.
Yeah.
And yet there is some kind of harmony between them.
Mm-hmm.
Truly.
I changed it out every day for 3 weeks. And I really thought I'd be using it the rest of my life. And I didn't care because it was giving me relief. It's very inexpensive, compared to how it had impacted my life.
Wow.
And so to see that that dysregulation was somehow corrected in my brain, then we started understanding that there's 13 other codes, 13 different stickers that can do the same thing in the body instantaneous.
13 different codes. Who developed this? Where did it come from?
You're the one for this, babe.
I love it. Okay, so I've got to step back just a little bit and share my resistance to anything new, to keep the blinders on focus, to market our business, right? And Lori's like, you have no idea what's happening. Like my clients are having the lights are coming on, they're crying. She's showing me videos of her clients who were like, I have, 5-10 minutes to get out of bed every morning and I've never not had pain, and they're crying. I was like, this is legit. What really started happening, another thing that started happening is people were showing up multiple times a day in our entryway. And it was reminded me of my college dorm room. It's like, yo, you got some liberty, you got some freedom. Yo, what you know? I've never seen anything like this before in my life, right? And so, fast forward, I dove in and I got to know Jay Dollywall is the creator of this technology. And I look at things in terms of ROI in all fashions, emotionally, financially. Obviously, like I'm the guy we keep the lights on of our family business. So when I really wanted to know who this guy is, we did a deep dive. And the beautiful thing is it's very different from a lot of businesses that we've seen around where it's like these people sit around a table and how are we going to get rich? Like what kind of a product are we going to create? Right. And then what kind of a structure are we going to take it out to the marketplace in? Nothing wrong with that. Jay Dollywall, his mother was a seamstress in a Levi's factory, right? They're very familial people. They were not wealthy. Jay wanted to change that script. And so he became a software engineer, right? So while I was having my experience during the dot-com boom, so was he. He was writing software, security software that was bomb-proof that he was then selling to some of the top companies on the planet.
Wow.
Right? Jay had earned hundreds of millions of dollars through the dot-com boom, and he kept most of his, right? And so from that, so he was already – I think it's important that he was already independently very wealthy beyond anybody's, evaluation. He's $100 million in the bank now, right? The thing is, his mother was his hero, and she got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 40 years ago, was given 6 years to live. Well, having money is helpful because he was able to take her to the best doctors, doctors on the planet with that wealth, and it helped. She's still here. She's got full mobility of her neck.
Wow.
She's fully cognitively functional, which all those help. But I truly believe that the technology that Jay created is what really took her to the next level. So what happened is in that process of taking her around the world to these specialists, he realized they are limited. Like they're only going so far, and there's another level. And so what he did is he shifted his focus to the neurosciences. And he got his hands on 250,000 files of people with like multiple sclerosis, right? Brain disorders or issues from ages 3 to 81, I believe. And then what he did, this is kind of I think it's a fascinating story. He got a couple big supercomputers. He had the data and he bolted his butt to a chair. And for 14 years, he wrote code to decipher the brain, right? Identifying that every bodily function has a neural code, right? And when those neural codes get disrupted, the bodily function gets disrupted.
Yeah.
Mood, sleep, libido, right? There's every bodily function. And so here's the thing. What kind of a venture capitalist is going to invest in that? None. Because he's a computer guy going into the brain space, right? Mm-hmm. So he invested $25 million of his own dollars to create this technology for his mother, right? Not to get rich. Yeah. Remember that the previous, how do we get rich? No, he's doing this from a heart space of I'm going to help my mother, and the byproduct is this technology now exists.
Wow.
Right?
A powerful motivator there.
Incredible, right?
Yeah.
He's a fascinating dude.
Then like in regards to like getting treatment at the Ascend Brain Center, my understanding from what I read online is that it's a lot quicker than traditional treatments.
Traditional neurofeedback it would take 20 to 40 sessions for somebody to get their full brain back to homeostasis, for those neural pathways to rewire, and that's now back to the original intelligence. Microcurrent neurofeedback is 10 to 20 sessions.
Wow.
So it's half the time. The other important piece of microcurrent neurofeedback, it's the only one sending that compensatory signal to the brain. The other type of neurofeedback, you are interacting with a computer screen. It is reading the brain and sending to the program what's happening in the brain, and then you're essentially interacting with the program and retraining your brain.
Oh my goodness.
So microcurrent neurofeedback is the only passive neurofeedback.
And they're all fantastic. Like they're with this, just having a passive experience which is a compressed time frame, 15 minutes versus 45 is helpful to people.
Kids on the spectrum.
Yeah.
I've got a couple boys on the spectrum, and just hearing this, it's kind of getting my brain going and getting me thinking on ways that I could empower them further, because they are such potent little creatures,
Yeah.
and they have so much capability, and I just want to unlock it,
Oh, Cheyenne. So Lori's got a story for you.
Great.
In regard to, we'd heard stories. We'd heard stories about a particular set of patches that were helping take nonverbal autistic children to speaking words and some sentences, right? Like profound change. But they were all other people's stories. And then we got our own story.
Ooh.
So you want to share that?
Yeah. So we've heard that with microcurrent neurofeedback. We actually had the experience with the technology that we've been talking about here, the new technology, the sticker technology.
Awesome.
Okay. So I had a client come in, and she brought her 4-year-old neurodivergent child. And this child, in his waking hours, always makes a screeching, repetitive noise. I mean, it's constant. This mom has to listen to this all the time, and it doesn't sound like he's having a fun time. And Troy stood outside my office this day because
The only time I've done that.
it sounded like something really crazy was going on in my office. He was getting very upset, and I took one of the codes as peace, and I put a peace patch on his back, and 5 seconds after that hit, the noise stopped.
It was wild. It just went silent.
He didn't know what's going on because all he heard was the room go silent, right? So if I have time, I'll share how that transpired. Mom ends up holding the boy during microcurrent, and he's trying to pull on the cords. And so she's squeezing him down. Because microcurrent neurofeedback is passive, he doesn't have to buy into this. Right?
Yeah.
So she's holding him down. Well, he's 4 years old. It's upsetting. He's freaking out. So he's trying to get away. And I'm thinking in my mind, peace patch isn't working anymore, because all of a sudden, kid's upset. We get done with that session. It's only a 15-minute session. He can't manage his emotions. He's screaming, he's thrashing, he's pounding his head, he's hitting himself. And I thought, well, peace patch doesn't work. Because I'm new. I'm very beginning of this. And I decided to pull his shirt up and put on what we have as a focus patch, because I thought, she's trying to talk to him. He's not responding at all. When I lift the shirt up, I saw that when he was thrashing, that peace patch fell off.
Oh my.
Okay.
Wow.
So I put a peace and a focus on him, and instantly that child that was hitting himself and so upset again, just completely, his composure came up. With that focus patch, he looked his mom in the eyes.
She starts crying, because I guess that's not typical.
I'm feeling it right now, like, I don't know. I can imagine, like, your minds must have been blown.
Every single time we have these experiences, and we're having these types of life-changing experiences multiple times a day, it's still shocking.
Oh, good.
It's still
I'd hate to see you
shocking.
guys become desensitized to
Not
that magic.
desensitized. You know why we're not desensitized? Because this is emotional. That person that experiences it that first time, it's life-changing. It's real. So I will never desensitize to that.
It's got to be like magical to witness.
Yeah. With the story after story after story that just continues to build belief. And my own personal experience, again, I've done hundreds of hours of therapy. You know, I've studied neurolinguistic programming, studied hypnosis, went through the courses. I've sat in ayahuasca ceremonies, right? I've breath work, cold immersion, and they're all amazing modalities, right? And when I put on a couple of these patches, a peace patch and a joy patch, and literally feel my brain level out and my emotions just stabilized in degrees that I've not experienced without having to spend 45 minutes in breath work and meditation.
Right.
But within minutes, like I know, obviously with my history, there's a lot of pain, right? For a lot of people. And so when I look at this and I think that doesn't have to happen for other families, for other people, that is a primary focus for me.
Yeah.
Right. And here's the thing, like neurofeedback's magical. We definitely invite our businesses booming because of this little $2 sticker that is providing immediate results so that people can get in our chair, and it's the compounded. But if there's people aren't here in Boise or have access to neurofeedback, this patch, man, I'm telling you what, we had a gentleman that went, I'm going to share this because it's just true. He went through 20 sessions of neurofeedback. He had chronic anxiety that was debilitating. And 20 sessions really helped him. We're talking giving Lori a hug. You're amazing. You helped me so much. Now, a couple months later, he's back at our home. We had an open house, and Lori put a peace patch on him. He starts crying in my kitchen. And he literally touched his heart. He's like, I've never felt this peaceful in my life. That's after 20, right?
It's wild.
So if you would have told me 4 months ago that we would be having this conversation, I would be this passionate about it, I would have laughed at you.
Wow.
Right? Mm-hmm. But again, when it's time for something to come through and I'm tapped on the shoulder and I see these profound magical benefits for people, it's like, man, I'm not able to not share this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then then Albert, I'm like, it's like, what? We've got to get Albert here and share this with Albert, right? Because they've got a particular code, a patch that has gone through clinical trials, or rather double-blind placebo studies with Arizona State. It's about to be published on PubMed. This is documented to improve athletic performance 17 to 30%, increase leg strength by 10%, and increase VO2 max by 10%.
And this is via a patch?
Yeah, via a patch, right?
Wow. I was wondering, what the
connection.
Yes, the connection here, the collaboration. No, that makes sense.
Wild, right? So Albert, we invite him over. We do the stability test, and Albert, I love this guy. We've done a lot of work together.
Yes.
We can share that story.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, fascinating. What would really be cool is if you come to our senior class tomorrow, right, where he teaches mobility, stability, and strength to our elderly citizens, right?
Yeah.
Generally right around the 80-year-old mark, right? And so we go in and we do before and after with this stability test, and it was mind-blowing.
9-day.
Really?
Mind-blowing, wasn't it?
Man, all these seniors are like, what just happened?
Really?
Yeah, literally.
So you've seen this firsthand.
Firsthand
You've
with
experienced it. Just one aspect of it.
Yeah, one group here in Eagle, right? And then all the other ladies and guys have been helping at the gym too. So I see it as an adjunct or a tool, assistance to helping what I'm doing for people even more. People's brains are scrambled, and we can get them to homeostasis and then be able to teach them the movement and the eating, all that a little better, so they can get better results. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing as the collaboration of what the super patch is and what I'm doing.
What Albert just said is really important. What we found, and Lori's seen this on a daily basis for 4 years, is the majority of people have dysregulated nervous systems, AKA they're in fight or flight, right?
Yeah.
So they're in fight or flight. Guess what? We have the inability to learn, to be creative, to actually connect and engage, right? Interact in a healthy manner.
Yeah.
So that's most of society, right?
Yes.
So when we can get people into a regulated system or brain set, if we can get people regulated, then they're emotionally present, they're less reactive, they can learn, they can connect, and they can actually express and create, right? Which is what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
We're here to actually, we all have something beautifully unique. like a fingerprint that is only ours that we get to share with the world. And we've all heard that saying, most people die with the music still in them, right? And what magic is showing up as people are being liberated from these chronic states of stress.
I want to try it. I need that. I want that. I want that for myself.
We brought some for you.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got a story for you. Can I share your story?
Please, yeah.
So there's 13 patches, and I found my favorites, right? So one of the patches of the 4 that has taken nonverbal children on the spectrum to verbal, is called Kick It. Kick It is for willpower. It's called willpower in a patch. And so our addictive tendencies, personalities, right? That comes out sideways. That can look like raiding the pantry at midnight, right? And it's not healthy.
Yeah.
It could be smoking. It could be alcohol. It could be all kinds of addictive behaviors. There's a lot of behavioral addictions, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
One of the key things with people in recovery, it says in the 12-step book that resentment is the number one offender of the alcoholic, right? Because we will find an excuse to drink or use, right? It's just that because that is a very strong muscle from our youth. Well, this isn't working out. This isn't working out. So I'll self-harm and I deserve this, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So the other aspect, what causes that is looping thoughts, right? And I'm not talking about, I'm so grateful for my house. I'm so grateful for my life. I'm a great
inner
guy.
narrator, always there.
Right.
Know that inner narrator really well. Sometimes we're not even aware that it exists.
Oh,
but please continue.
We got to do another podcast on that. So I'm very aware of that switch that happens in me. I can literally be like, oh my gosh, my life is so beautiful. It's so amazing. And it is, right? And then I'll go, whose sock is that? Right? And then I start looking at the dishes aren't done. And then I start saying stuff like, I have to do everything. This is too much. This is BS, right? And that is all consuming. And this literally happened to me 2 days ago, that very scenario. So I put a Kick It patch on. And prior to putting it on, I'm thinking, how am I going to have this conversation? How am I going to have this conversation? Right. And so somebody who came from a childhood with no voice, right? It's very, so now how do I have a conversation that's peaceful and clear so I can hold speak my truth without harming another person?
Right.
It's difficult, right? Might come out loud, sharp. So I'm having that conversation with myself. I put the Kick It patch on, and within 5 minutes, I'm like, I don't even need to have that conversation. I don't even need to have that conversation, right? And the experience physically and emotionally, and it's always after the fact, we have no idea how much pain we're in. It's like while I'm having those looping thoughts, it's like somebody's just gripping me and a bucket over my head because that's all I can think about, right? And as soon as I put that Kick It on, it's like I'm just released. It's like, like my brain and my nervous system just sighs. It's that profound, man.
Yeah, it sounds profound. I mean, because you just described my day 2 days ago. Except I didn't have a patch to put on. This sounds like a crazy cheat code, I mean, not in a bad way.
No, it absolutely is.
Code.
Yeah, exactly.
The aspect of this, and I don't throw rocks at industries, but the reality is our society has been hijacked.
Absolutely.
Right, for decades, and it's not helpful. Right, so that patch, when it goes on the skin, it's not the patch that's having these profound benefits. It's our brain. Our brains have been so hijacked for so long that it's like, this is normal. It's not normal at all.
Yeah, well, it's like become the new normal, right? That's why it's such a disruptive technology.
Very disruptive. And there's a reason why Big Pharma has offered him $1 billion for this technology, and he turned him down, doesn't need the money. But it's not so that they can make it readily available for the masses at a low cost. It's so they can shelve it, right?
Yep.
Because I think I may have mentioned Dr. Anna Toker is a top colorectal surgeon in the country. Amazing woman. She began using patches before and after surgery. So she'll put on a Liberty patch for stability because there's 1 million falls in hospitals every year and 10,000 of them die. This is unrelated to why they were actually admitted into the hospital, right? So stability. She gives them one for sleep. She gives them one for pain and one for anxiety. Surgery can be a little anxious, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And then they utilize those after surgery. It's compressing the time frames of recovery radically, and it's reducing opiate prescription by 80%.
Oh my goodness!
Right? You think that they might? That's bugging somebody.
It's like some villain's bread and butter right there. So again, 13 patches total.
13 patches, and there's more coming.
Oh, wow. So there are more coming. It's development is ongoing.
The technology, yeah. When you study Jay, you'll see this guy this is his mission. Like he said, I thought it was this. I thought it was that. As we all do, right? He says, no, this is my mission on the
He
planet.
found his purpose. Yeah.
100%.
That's huge.
And he's been asked, it's like, so what happens if like you are, you're in the crosshairs? And he says, I'm good. He says, I've protected the technology. It's copywritten. Intellectual property is protected, right? So I've got everything laid out in case that does happen. He says, and if it does happen, I'm good to go. Genie's out of the bottle. How cool is that?
Absolutely.
What a cool guy.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's here for a long time.
Sounds like he was on a different wavelength.
True.
So how long has this actually been accessible then to people? Like how long has this been on the market?
So this technology originally started in 2008,
Yep.
and it actually came in the form of socks.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So they put the socks on. The only thing available was that mobility and stability. And it was amazing. They actually took this to market through more of the medical channels. And what they discovered is that it was not accessible. It wasn't moving traction because it requires a demonstration, has a story behind it, right? And so this wasn't happening at the level of speed that it deserved. Well, in 2000, what was the year when they?
2009, I believe. And then, but he started his patch studies after they identified that anywhere on the body, like kind of like if somebody's drawing on your back and they say, what letter is this? It's using those same channels.
Okay.
Then he identified you could put these patches anywhere. So, and he also realized that this is would enter the marketplace much faster.
Yeah. They put them in patches because now we can wear multiple codes, right? We only have 2 feet. And that is going to wear out. So having it be a wearable that you can change out every day changed the game.
Yeah.
And that actually was launched in 2023.
Oh my
so
goodness.
we're fresh.
Oh my. Wow.
And because through that model, the trajectory of the company has quadrupled in the traditional marketing that they were trying to take it in, and putting it into a model where we can word of mouth share with one another. And yeah, so we're 2 years in, and I believe the true launch of the company is going to be like this February.
He's bringing out some new technology that it's like we're talking about game-changing technology already. What's coming out is really game-changing. What's fun, Albert, is from that first class that we did with you, with the seniors, we've been invited to Bunko Night, right? Bunko Night from our friend Diane. She's now our friend. She's amazing. And so she has this ongoing standing Bunko Night once a month. So she lets everybody know, hey, Lori and Troy are going to come show you this really cool technology. So, man, think about it. People in their 80s, lots of pain. Yeah. So they're in pain, no pain. They're unstable, stable, right? So it's been fun to see these individuals. They share. Because here's the thing. They know a lot of people with pain and mobility issues, right? And we also know that we've heard fall and break a hip, the 5-year mortality rates are pretty poor, right? And so keeping somebody mobile and upright is such a gift.
If we talk about them on that side, if you will, on the other side is just the regular people like us still with it, right?
Yeah.
We can enhance ourselves even more and then put off that state maybe longer.
That's what I'm trying to figure out in my head right now. It's like, you put a patch on and suddenly you're able to like lift more and you have more stamina. Like,
well, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So that class we did at the gym, so I had everyone do the single leg balance test. Just holding one leg up and see how long you hold that for. So I had the clock running so everyone looked at it and timed themselves. However many seconds, whatever. And we had everyone put their patches on after and stood there with them one leg up again. And people doubled their times at 20 seconds. All these increases happened just from that.
okay.
That one patch sending the signal through the skin, through the nerves, into the brain saying, hey, get more stable.
Wow.
Basically it, right? Yeah. And now, so if I can do that for regular people, and if we're doing a lift or something, doing a back squat, maybe they could find balance a little better,
I see.
or be able to coordinate a bunch of actions or muscles firing better,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
And then that helps progress results even quicker, perhaps.
Okay, so like, tell me about like the lifetime of a patch, right? Like, you put it on and it lasts the day. I mean, like, how does it work? Does it wear out? I mean, there's nothing actually coming through the patch, right?
So there's nothing to wear out. There's no ingredients going in the body. And so there's the only thing to wear out is the adhesive,
Wow.
right? There's one more piece, and that is some of the skin is going to start sticking to the pattern, right? So the recommendation is every 24 hours, just change them out.
Can you just put them anywhere? Oh boy.
So I
You
have my
just patched
favorite
up.
spot on which camera? Yeah. So ideally where there's the least amount of hair.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So some people have to put them on their foreheads. But what I've done is I've got pretty hairless forearms, but I also I'll trim it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'd be trimming all day.
Yeah, I trim up my ankles, and those are my
room for the
spots.
patches. Yeah.
Because you really want them where it's not going to be, bending so much.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. So and they call it when they first started, when we were first introduced to this, they were calling it tech, and I couldn't wrap my mind around that. It's like, come on, tech, it's tape made by 3M. Now it's like, oh my gosh, the tech behind this, and there's really beautiful videos of Jay describing how he put this together. He's been on some very significant podcasts explaining this technology, and it is definitely worth a watch. I can post that up or put it in the link.
It'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
It's
it.
beautiful.
That's incredible.
I have a beautiful story with a ripple effect from Albert's gym. So somebody that we met at the day at the stability test for his seniors, she had such a profound effect that she invited a friend that was really struggling. This friend had just had to move out of her home and get an ADU new place away from her friends. That was the hard part, is the home that she was living in was near all of her community and friends. But she had gone from a cane to a walker and was starting to lose hope and knew that she needed to get an ADU place to live, and had just ordered her wheelchair. So here's another one of these stories where it's like, I'm not making this up. This is absolutely life-changing. The friend from the gym that we met brings this friend over. We put a Liberty patch on her, which is the stability patch, and instantly had strength. Instantly didn't need the walker.
Oh my goodness.
Instantly. Okay. So she's been coming over for 3 weeks now. And I got emotional yesterday as she's bopping down the walk. No cane, no walker. And she is also wearing peace and joy. And her entire demeanor has changed. That her life is forever changed. She has hope. And that all came from Albert sharing it with somebody who shared it with somebody. And that's what I get to do every day. It's
Oh my
super
goodness.
rewarding.
And then in terms of like the Ascend Brain Center, where are you guys located and how do people find you?
So Ascend Brain Center is in the 5 Mile Overland area. So it's, Southeast Boise-ish, and super cozy. We operate literally out of our home, which is because we bootstrapped, right? We bootstrapped the business, and we got to a place where we're going to get a commercial location. All of our clients are like, don't you dare. So we've created it's kind of like Yellowstone meets Star Trek.
I love it.
We've got the biochargers, and it's really fun. So yeah, beautiful environment. People can come get cozy, and we have like a real fireplace. And
That sounds amazing. Guys, thank you so much for coming down here today. This has been such an eventful meetup. You know what I mean? I'm really grateful for it. And I just think what you guys are bringing forward is just tremendous. So wonderful. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for having us,
Awesome.
Cheyenne.
Thanks for having
Wonderful.
us.
All right. So which patch are we going to demo?
Okay, so this is the Liberty patch.
Cool.
Okay. And you can say it says, get moving like never before. Okay, so feet shoulder width apart,
Okay.
hands down by your side, and then make a fist. And then lock this shoulder. I'm going to push up on you, so lock down, okay? Resist me, and don't let me tip you that way.
Okay.
Try not to. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Resist, resist, resist.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Resist. I'm going to pull down. Try not to let me tip you forward.
Okay.
So, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay?
Wow.
So let's find a spot right here. Looks great. So the second it touches your skin, it's working. Similar as if I were to do that, you feel it instantly. The message is sent.
Wow.
Hands by your side, make a fist. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
What? That is bizarre. I feel like I'm anchored.
Yeah. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
What on earth? What is going on?
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
What the heck is going on? That is so weird.
Okay, we're gonna do it again.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
You gotta be kidding me. No.
3, 2, 1.
I'm really gonna. God, I don't get it. That is wild.
3, 2, 1.
Wow. That is so strange.
Now you can feel it in your body.
Yeah.
Now you understand, okay, this is doing something. What are the other 13?
No kidding.
Right?
Exactly. I move it. Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Wow. I feel like a mountain goat or something. I can scale the wall right now.
You're really strong.
That's crazy.
That's
Feet together.
Oh yeah. Wow. I feel like I'm Spider-Man. It's crazy. I don't want to take it off.
You're fully optimized, sir.